Before we keep adding a bunch more content to the page, we need to provide the browser with a little bit more instructions so it can interpret our HTML correctly. And this is similar to the idea of doing like a developer handoff. We can't just give a developer a Figma file and say, good luck, hope for the best, and expect it to turn out the way we want it to. We give them a lot of context. We have to show them the user flows. We have to explain the red lines and the padding and the spacing and just help them bridge the gap between the raw design and what we want implemented in the code. Similar idea here. We need to give the browser some more instructions so it can correctly interpret all of our information that we're giving it inside of the code here. So let's go ahead and we'll see this in action. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we have our H1 here. And before we just added this element straight into the code, and the browser can interpret that. That's fine, but we need to provide just a little bit more structure so that way we don't have issues with viewing this in other contexts or viewing this in other browsers. We have that cross-browser support we need to pay attention to. And then there are a couple other required pieces missing as well, which we'll see in action here. So the first thing we're going to do, and this is the first line for any HTML file you create, and this is fingers on keyboard, this is a good thing to follow along with, is the Doctype. So let's write it out and then we will look at it. So we're going to go ahead, we'll do our bracket, and it's going to pop up right away for us, but we'll do a bang or a exclamation point, and we'll say Doctype, all uppercase here, and then we'll say HTML, and then we will close this. So what this is saying is that this is an HTML5 document. So we have the file extension, and then we also have this first line here to say this is the latest version of HTML and should be interpreted as such. HTML's been around for a long time. It's been around, I think, at least the early 90s, and it has gone through many iterations over the years. So we want the browser to say, this is the latest and greatest version, and I should treat it as such. I should use all of the most advanced features of the language, and this is how we give that instruction to the browser. The next element that we're going to add here is the HTML element. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open another angle bracket, and we'll say HTML, and then we'll close that opening tag, and then it's going to add a closing tag for us. And if it doesn't, again, you just have to type that out, but your autocomplete is pretty good. It'll save you a few keystrokes. And so what this tag is doing, this is the root element of the HTML page. Everything that goes inside of here should be interpreted and parsed by the browser. So this is sort of the, if we think about our Figma, this will be like the page. This is like the collection of all of the layers inside of here organized in one convenient place. Now, inside of HTML, so we hit enter there, and we've got these opening and closing tags wrapping everything else inside of it. We're going to add two more tags here. So we'll go ahead and we'll say head like this, and then we'll go ahead and add one more, and we'll call this body. So we've got the head and the body tags. So the head is where we're going to add meta information about the page that is not actually displayed to the end user in the browser. And the body is where we add all the information that we want the user to actually see and interact with in the experience here. So if we open up the body, this is where we're going to move our H1 now. So we can go ahead and we can copy or cut this, and we will just paste it inside. Great. So now we've got our content. This is everything we want the user to see in the experience. And if we go ahead and give that a refresh, nothing's going to happen really. We got a little bit more spacing here because we know we're in the right place now. But for the most part, this is pretty much the same as what we were looking at before. But notice this tab over here. Look at what Figma's doing. They're describing the file name that I'm looking at, and then they have Figma over here, versus we only have the name of the file, index.html. So how is Figma controlling this browser metadata about the page, right? It's not the experience itself. It is this additional information about the page. Well, the last thing that we're always going to need to include is the title, and that lives inside of the head section of our file. So we'll go ahead and we'll say title, and why don't we go ahead and say quick menu, just like that. And this is where we can get some fancy SEO stuff going, but for right now, we're just describing this page. And if we give this a refresh, now we can see we've got quick menu up here. So it's no longer the file name, it is whatever we want to put inside of the title. So let's break this all down again. We've got the doc type up top. What that is doing is it's saying this page is an HTML5 file. It should be interpreted as such, so that's good instructions for the browser. Then we have the HTML element, and so it's saying everything inside of me is going to be considered HTML and should be interpreted as such. Then we have the head, which is saying this is where we want to define all the meta information about the page, like the title, which is required for every single HTML file we create. And then we have the body, and inside of here, we're going to put all of the markup that we want to actually display to the user. So the rest of our design is going to all live inside of the body. And then we have our H1, which we should be familiar with. That is just our most important piece of text content on the page. And that is all we need to structure an HTML file.